Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Distinguished guests, respected colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to Surgicon 2025. I am Dr. Ayesha Siddiqua Hashmi, currently working as Assistant Professor of Surgery in Civil Hospital, Karachi. Let us start this event with the recitation of Holy Quran by Hafiz Sayyid Faiz Alvi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم شروع اللہ کے نام سے جو بڑا مہربان اور نہایت رحم والا ہے۔ الف لام را، یہ کتاب روشن کی آیتیں ہیں۔ ہم نے اس قرآن کو عربی میں نازل کیا ہے تاکہ تم سمجھ سکو۔ اے پیغمبر صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم، ہم اس قرآن کے ذریعے سے جو ہم نے تمہاری طرف بھیجا ہے تمہیں ایک نہایت اچھا قصہ سناتے ہیں اور تم اس سے پہلے بے خبر تھے۔ جب یوسف نے اپنے والد سے کہا کہ ابا میں نے خواب میں 11 ستاروں اور سورج اور چاند کو دیکھا ہے، دیکھتا کیا ہوں کہ وہ مجھے سجدہ کر رہے ہیں۔ انہوں نے کہا کہ بیٹا اپنے خواب کا ذکر اپنے بھائیوں سے نہ کرنا، نہیں تو وہ تمہارے حق میں کوئی فریب کی چال چلیں گے۔ کچھ شک نہیں کہ شیطان انسان کا کھلا دشمن ہے، اور اسی طرح اللہ تمہیں برگزیدہ و ممتاز کرے گا اور خواب کی باتوں کی تعبیر کا علم سکھائے گا، اور جس طرح اس نے اپنی نعمت پہلے تمہارے دادا پردادا ابراہیم اور اسحاق پر پوری کی، اسی طرح تم پر اور اولاد یعقوب پر پوری کرے گا۔ بے شک تمہارا پروردگار سب کچھ جاننے والا، حکمت والا ہے۔ صدق اللہ العظیم۔
Subhanallah. Let us now stand in respect of the national anthem of Pakistan. It is my privilege to host this inaugural session of Surgicon 2025, the flagship conference of the Society of Surgeons of Pakistan. Since its founding in 1980, the Society of Surgeons of Pakistan has provided an essential platform for professional exchange and the advancement of surgical practice in our country. Surgicon reflects that vision, bringing together experienced surgeons and young professionals to share knowledge, present clinical work, and strengthen our community. I extend my sincere gratitude to all participants and organizers. Your presence ensures the continued success of this very important endeavor. May this conference be enlightening, inspiring, and impactful for all of you. Now, I would like to invite a distinguished figure in the field of surgery, a leader whose vision and commitment continues to guide and strengthen our surgical community. Please join me in warmly welcoming the President of the Society of Surgeons of Pakistan, Karachi chapter, Professor Dr. Mehmood Khan, to the stage for the welcome address.
Respected guests, teachers, professors, mentors, esteemed fellows, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is both a privilege and honor for me to stand before you to inaugurate, as we inaugurate Surgicon 2025 in a vibrant city of Karachi. At the gap of few years, we have gathered again under the theme, Improving Surgical Outcome Using Innovative Technologies, a vision that marries tradition with transformation in an area where robotic surgery, redefined precision, AI-driven diagnostic, enhanced accuracy, telemedicine bridges gap in access. We are tasked with harnessing these advancements ethically and equitably. Let this conference be a crucible for ideas where 3D printing, minimally invasive technique, and a smart implant are not just discussed but integrated into our collaborative or collective mission. Gatherings like Surgicon are lifeblood for progress. They ignite collaboration, democratize knowledge, and challenges us to evolve. Regular conferences ensure we remain at the vanguard of innovation, translating breakthroughs from labs to operating rooms. Today, we reaffirm our commitment to this exchange, fostering a global community rooted in shared purpose. Organizing this event in Karachi, a city pulsating with energy, presented unique hurdles. For navigating logistical complexities in May's sweltering heat to securing resources and economic uncertainties and shadows of war, we path our arduous, yet it is precisely these challenges that magnify our achievement. To the committee led by the Professor Masoom Mirza, scientific committee led by the Professor Masoom Mirza, Professor Farhan Zahir, Dr. Zareen Tehseen, Munira, and other one is Dr. Owen. They are very much committed and hard worker in conducting this program. Thank you so much for your enthusiastic participation from all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Mehmood. The backbone of any successful conference is its scientific program, and behind that is a team of dedicated professionals who ensure its quality and relevance. At this point, I have the distinct pleasure of inviting the Chair of Scientific Committee to the stage to share a few words and present the scientific vision behind Surgicon. Please welcome Professor Dr. Masoom Mirza with a warm round of applause.
Respected guests, distinguished surgeons, and dear colleagues, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you. It is a great honor for me to welcome you all in this Surgicon 2025, where we are gathered to share knowledge, learn surgical innovations from each other, and grow the surgical community further. The goal of Surgicon 2025 was to promote research, encourage innovation, and provide a platform for junior and senior surgeons across Pakistan to present their experience and work. Since we firmly believe that by working together, we can improve surgical practice and patient care in our country. In this context, a large number of pre-conference workshops were held and organized in various hospitals of Karachi, where a large number of participants were seen to attend those workshops and gain the surgical knowledge. And from today, we are holding 2 days scientific sessions. With immense pleasure, I warmly welcome all the speakers and presenters who will contribute their experience and work in these scientific sessions. Indeed, your valuable work will update the audience about latest advancement in surgery. Let us continue to support each other, stay united, and work toward excellence in the field of surgery in Pakistan for the betterment of patient care. Thank you all, and may this event be full of learning, collaboration, and inspiration. Pakistan Zindabad, Ameen.
It is my honor to introduce the chief guest for today, Professor Dr. Tipu Sultan, a distinguished anesthesiologist and educator, whose career has profoundly impacted medical education and healthcare in Pakistan. Dr. Sultan completed his MBBS, followed by fellowship of the Faculty of Anesthetists from the UK. He served as the head of anesthesiology and also as medical superintendent of Civil Hospital, Karachi, and later as principal of Dow Medical College and dean of Faculty of Anesthesiology at CPSP. His leadership extended to founding the Society of Anesthesiologists in Pakistan in 1986. In 2016, Dr. Sultan was appointed as the first chairperson of the Sindh Healthcare Commission, where he played a pivotal role in regulating and improving healthcare standards across the province. In recognition of his exceptional contributions to the medical education and healthcare, he was honored with the Living Legend Award by the College of Family Medicine in January 2025. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Tipu Sultan, a true pioneer and leader in the field of anesthesiology, to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Bibi, for such a long introduction. कितनी सच है, कितना गड़बड़ है, हमें नहीं पता, लेकिन बहरहाल तुम अगर कहते हो तो फिर ठीक ही कहते होगे। बहरहाल सबसे पहले तो मैं मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूँ सोसाइटी ऑफ सर्जन्स को फॉर दिस सक्सेसफुल इनॉग्रल सेशन एंड साइंटिफिक कांग्रेस। आजकल के ज़माने में बहुत बड़ी बात है ये कि तालीम बालगान का सिलसिला जारी रहना चाहिए और हम सबको एक दूसरे को एज ए लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्नर के तौर पर ये तकरीब का इनकाद होते रहना चाहिए, ताकि ये सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि इसमें हमारे जो यंग लॉर्ड्स जूनियर लॉर्ड्स हैं उनके लिए बहुत बड़ी मैसेज है और उनके लिए मोटिवेशन है कि इस किस्म की वारदात होते रहे, साइंटिफिक वारदात जिसको बोलते हैं, जिसमें तालीम बालगान है और बहुत कुछ चीज़ें हैं। और उसके रूह रवा महमूद और डॉक्टर तारिक, जिनको कि मैं पिछले 100 साल से जानता हूँ, इनको देखते हुए एहसास होता है कि जब तक ये हैं ये काम होता रहेगा और ये गुड डबल पॉजिटिव एक्टिविटी है एंड दैट शुड बी डन। अगले हफ्ते इसी हॉल में पाकिस्तान सोसाइटी ऑफ एनेस्थीसिया का 43rd कांग्रेस है, جو کیونکہ جیسے ڈاکٹر صاحب نے کہا کہ وی فاؤنڈیڈ سوسائٹی آف انستھیسیا، اور ہر سال بہت ریگولر اس کی سائنٹیفک ایکٹیویٹی ہوتی ہے جو 3 دن تک محیط ہوتی ہے، اور اس میں سارے پاکستان سے لوگ آبویسلی آتے ہیں. بس ایک دو سال سے گڑبڑ ہو رہی ہے کہ سارک کے لوگ نہیں آ رہے، بقیہ لوگ آتے ہیں. اگین سائنٹیفک بنیاد پر اور لیٹسٹ انوینشن اور لیٹسٹ ٹیکنیک کے حساب سے بہت ضروری ہے. خاص کہ انستھیسیا جس سے میرا تعلق ہے کہ آج سے 49 ایئرس بیفور 49 دوبارہ کہہ رہا ہوں 49، تو بہت سارے جو بچہ پارٹی یہاں بیٹھی ہے وہ پیدا بھی نہیں ہوئے ہوں گے اس وقت. جو 49 سے اوپر بچہ پارٹی ہے وہ ہاتھ اٹھا دے. ایک ہاتھ بھی نہیں اٹھے گا، سینئر لوگ اٹھا رہے ہیں، بچہ پارٹی نہیں اٹھا رہی، اس لیے بیچارے تھے ہی نہیں. اینڈ وی اسٹارٹیڈ انستھیسیا ایٹ دیٹ ٹائم، ویری پریمیٹیو انستھیسیا، ایتھر اور 2 دوا تھی بس، تھائیپنٹون سوڈیم، اور اس میں ساری واردات کرنی پڑتی تھی. اور بابا رضوی، فضل الہی صاحب اور میڈم زبید عزیز یہ سب بڑے بڑے کیس لے کر آتے تھے، اور اسپائنل انستھیسیا واز دا مین ٹول. اور اس میں بھی گڑبڑ یہ تھی کہ انگلینڈ میں اسپائنل انستھیسیا بینڈ تھا، منع تھا ڈیو ٹو لاٹ آف ریزنس. ایپیڈورل وہاں ہم کراتے تھے، اسپائنل نہیں تھے. یہاں پہنچے تو جو کام بھی ہو رہا ہے اسپائنل میں ہو رہا ہوتا ہے. اور ایون کڈنی اسٹون، گال بلیڈر، اسپائنل انستھیسیا. تو یہاں کے لوگ کمفرٹیبل کرتے تھے، میری جان نکلتی تھی کہ گال بلیڈر میں اسپائنل انستھیسیا میں کیسے کراؤں، اتنا اوپر کیسے جاؤں. بہرحال I learned it from my RMO کہ اسپائنل انستھیسیا میں کڈنی اسٹون، گال بلیڈر کا انستھیسیا دو، جبکہ میرے پاس فیلوشپ تھی اور میں جاہل تھا آبویسلی ان معاملات میں. تو I learned it. ایتھر انستھیسیا میں نے پڑھا تھا، کیا نہیں تھا، یہاں آ کے سیکھا. اس کے بعد سیکھنے کے بعد اس سے جان چھڑائی، گیٹ ریڈ آف ایتھر انستھیسیا اور ہیلوتھین انٹروڈیوس کیا. اب آہستہ آہستہ پچھلے 49 ایئرس میں سفر یہاں تک آ گیا ہے کہ وی کین کمپیٹ کہ جو انستھیسیا اس وقت دنیا کے کسی بڑے حصے میں ہو رہا ہے وہ یہاں ہو رہا ہے. جو سرجری دنیا کے کسی بڑے حصے میں ہو رہا ہے وہ یہاں ہو رہا ہے. ہمارے سرجنز دے بیکم بولڈر اینڈ بولڈر اینڈ بولڈر. اور بعض دفعہ ذرا سا زیادہ قابو سے باہر ہو آتے تھے کہ یہ بھی کرنا ہے وہ بھی کرنا ہے. میں نے کہا اچھا بھائی کر لیتے ہیں. لیکن اگین مائی ہیٹس آف ٹو دا سرجنز، دے ڈیڈ اے گریٹ جاب. اور خاص کے 2-3 ہماری صف میں پنگا سرجن تھے، نام نہیں لوں گا. پتہ ہے کہ میڈیوکر سرجن ہوتا ہے اور اچھا سرجن ہوتا ہے، بیکار سرجن ہوتا ہے، خفیہ سرجن ہوتا ہے، بہت ساری ورائٹی ہیں اس کی. تو اس میں ایک پنگا سرجن ہوتا ہے جس کی سخت ضرورت ہوتی ہے. اور سلو سرجن، فاسٹ سرجن، بایونک سرجن، یہ سب تو ہوتا ہی ہے. بہرحال تو ہمارے سول اسپتال میں سب تھے، یہ لوگ سب تھے موجود یہ لوگ. پنگا سرجن بہت بڑی نعمت ہے اللہ تعالیٰ کی، اس لیے کہ وہ مریض جن کو کہ ملٹیپل پیتھولوجی ہو، ڈائبٹیز، ہائپر ٹینشن، یہ پرابلم وہ پرابلم، اس کو ایک ایسا مسئلہ ہے جیسے کہ ویپلز کرنا ہے. تو اب اس میں بہت سے لوگ بھاگ جاتے ہیں، بہت سے آج میدان میں آئے تھے. تو اور اس کا جانڈس 40 ہیموگلوبن بیلیروبن. تو اس میں وی نیڈ اے پنگا سرجن جو کہ ہمت کرے، ہم بھی ہمت کریں، اینڈ یو سیو اے لائف. اور ابھی بھی شہر میں گھوم رہے ہیں 1-2 پنگا سرجن جو کہ اللہ تعالیٰ کی بہت بڑی نعمت ہیں، بہادر ہیں. اور ان کو میرا سلام کہ انہوں نے بہت ساری زندگی بچائی میرے سامنے. سو اس کانفرنس کا مقصد یہ ہے کہ اس قسم کی باتیں یہاں ہوں گی. اور تھینکس ٹو محمود اینڈ طارق کہ انہوں نے یہ جلسہ سجایا. اور اس میں آپ لوگوں نے مجھے موقع دیا کہ میں تھوڑی سی اپنی کچھ دل کی باتیں کہہ دوں. ایک اور دل کی بات جو کہنی ہے، جس پر کہ میں آج کل تھوڑا سا ایجیٹیٹڈ ہوں، اپسیٹ ہوں، وہ یہ کہ یہ جو اسٹینڈرڈ آف پی جی اسٹوڈنٹ پارٹ 1 کے بعد، یہ ذرا سا میں چونکہ ایس آئی ٹی میں پچھلے 45-46 سال سے پڑھاتا ہوں، ہفتے میں 3 دن آج کل بھی. تو پارٹ 1 کی جو بچہ پارٹی آ رہی ہے وہ ذرا سا، ایک ہوتا ہے جاہل، ایک ہوتا ہے مجموعہ جاہل. تو وہ اس سے بڑی چیز ہے. اس کو پتہ ہی نہیں بیچارے کو کہ بیسک سائنس کیا ہوتی ہے. لیکن कुछ चक्कर चला के रट रहा करके वो फिजियोलॉजी और पता नहीं क्या क्या पास, उस बेचारे को मतलब कुछ पता ही नहीं होता. अब ही इज़ गोइंग टू बिकम एनेस्थेटिस्ट, आजकल जो पीजीज घूम रहे हैं. और फिर मैंने इन्वेस्टिगेशन की कि ये नमूने सिर्फ एनेस्थीसिया में है, बाकी जगह भी हैं. एंड टू माई हॉरर आई डिस्कवर्ड कि सर्जरी मेडिसिन सब में ऐसे नमूने घूम रहे हैं जो पार्ट 1 करके आए हैं. बेसिक साइंस कुछ नहीं आती, पता नहीं कहाँ से पार्ट 1 कर लिया है, रट रटा के, या एक किताब कोई छोटी सी आती है, उसको 400 क्वेश्चन है, उसको रट लो. तो विदाउट नोइंग के PO2 क्या होता है, विदाउट नोइंग के रेस्पिरेटरी क्या होते हैं, विदाउट नोइंग के कार्डिक आउटपुट क्या होता है, विदाउट नोइंग के एजेक्शन फ्रैक्शन क्या होता है, उसकी छोटी छोटी बातें. ही इज़ ए पर्सन फॉर पार्ट 2 एंड ही इज़ गोइंग टू गेट इट. हमारा ये था कि ऐसा दाना तैयार करो, ऐसा सजन तैयार करो, ऐसा एनेस्थेटिस्ट तैयार करो जो कि मुझे एनेस्थीसिया दे, मुझे सर्जरी कराए, मेरी सर्जरी करे. क्योंकि आई कांट वॉक टू आगा खान, नॉट एवरीबडी कैन वॉक टू आगा खान के जहाँ 5 स्टार पैसा खर्च करने के बाद मिलेगा. सिविल अस्पताल में, जीना अस्पताल में ऐसा दाना होना चाहिए जो मेरा ऑपरेशन करे. जैसे कि अदीब साहब को मैं छेड़ता था कि सर आपका TORP कौन करेगा बताइए, उन्होंने आज तक जवाब नहीं दिया. और ऐसे बहुत सारे सर्जन मैं पूछता हूँ कि बच्चों तुम्हारा पिता कौन निकालेगा. बहरहाल तो मुझसे भी सवाल पूछा गया कि आपका एनेस्थीसिया कौन देगा. तो मैंने 3 एनेस्थीसिया लिए हैं और तीनों मेरे शागिर्दों ने दिया है, राइट हियर, नॉट इन 5 स्टार. तो अब ये सूरत हाल मैं देख रहा हूँ कि ये जो लोग पार्ट 2 कर रहे हैं, ये किसको ऑपरेट करेंगे, क्या करेंगे. इनका जो ट्रेनर है उसकी मुसीबत आई, लेकिन जिस दरवाजे से निकल के आए हैं वो पार्ट 1 का ठप्पा लगा करके जिस MCQ को हल करके आए हैं वो वाइवा तो इन जालिमों ने ख़त्म ही कर दिया. तो उसके लिए कुछ करें, वी मस्ट डू समथिंग. इसलिए कि जनरेशन जो आ रही है ना, एज ए टीचर, और इस दस्त की सयाही में मुझे पाकिस्तान में 49 ईयर्स हुए हैं और उसमें 6-7 साल और जोड़ लीजिए तो 50+ ईयर्स हैं. तो अगेन ये बहुत ही डिप्रेसिंग बात है कि कल क्या होगा और मेरा इलाज कौन करेगा. थैंक यू वेरी मच. फूड फॉर थॉट.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tipu Sultan. I would like to invite Dr. Mehmood Khan on stage to present the shield of appreciation to our chief guest. Thank you so much, Dr. Tipu Sultan, for honoring our event today. We now come to one of the most anticipated and heartfelt moments of Surgicon 2025, the presentation of the Lifetime Achievement Awards. These awards are a tribute to individuals whose unwavering dedication, exceptional contributions, and lifelong commitment have shaped the field of surgery in Pakistan. Today, we honor their legacy with deep respect and gratitude. Professor Dr. Tariq Mehmood, recognized as a towering figure in Pakistan's medical and surgical community, graduated from Dow Medical College and acquired FCPS General Surgery in 1991. He became Professor of Surgery in Karachi Medical and Dental College in 2001. He was twice elected as Counselor of College of Physicians and Surgeons, Pakistan, where he also served as Director General International Relations as well as Registrar of CPSP. He also served as Vice President and Secretary of CPSP. His contributions to the Society of Surgeons Pakistan include serving as Central Secretary in 2000 as well as the President of the Karachi chapter from 2008 to 2010. He retired from KMDC in 2016 and is currently working as Professor of Surgery at Sir Syed College of Medical Sciences, Karachi. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause to Dr. Professor Tariq Mehmood. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great respect and admiration that we call to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to a distinguished figure in the field of surgery, Professor Dr. Ishad Waheed. After his graduation from Dow Medical College and fellowship of the Royal College of Surgeons, he became assistant professor of surgery at Dow Medical College and Civil Hospital, Karachi, where he mentored numerous students and residents. He went on to become the head of surgery at Jinnah Postgraduate Medical Center, Karachi, contributing to the institute's reputation for surgical education and patient care. He served as the secretary of the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Pakistan for nearly 2 decades. His dedication to the surgical profession, commitment to education, and unwavering service to the medical community make him a deserving recipient of this prestigious award. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It is my utmost pleasure and honor to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to one of the most respected and accomplished figures in Pakistan's medical landscape, Professor Dr. Saeed Qureshi. A distinguished graduate of Dow Medical College, Dr. Qureshi pursued advanced surgical training and earned the fellowship of the Royal College of Surgeons, England. Throughout his illustrious career, Dr. Qureshi has worn many important hats, each with distinction and purpose. As a professor of surgery, he has educated and mentored generations of young surgeons, fostering a culture of clinical excellence and academic rigor. As medical superintendent of Civil Hospital Karachi, one of the country's busiest public hospitals, he brought administrative clarity and compassionate leadership to a challenging environment, ensuring quality care for thousands. And as the Vice Chancellor of Dow University of Health Sciences, he transformed the institution into a hub of innovation, research, and advanced medical education. He was bestowed with the prestigious Tamga Imtiaz in 2022. I would like to invite Professor Dr. Sajda Qureshi to accept this Lifetime Achievement Award on his basis. Thank you, madam. Next, we would like to honor Professor Dr. Asghar Channa, a visionary leader whose lifelong dedication has profoundly shaped surgery, medical education, and institutional development in Pakistan. A graduate of Liaquat University of Health Sciences and a fellow of the College of Physicians and Surgeons, Pakistan, he was pivotal in establishing Surgical Unit 3 at JPMC. He held key leadership roles at CPSP, including counselor, treasurer, secretary, and registrar, where he played a central role in advancing postgraduate training. As Vice Chancellor of Medical University in Ladkhana, he transformed the university into a nationally recognized institution, introducing key academic departments, securing HEC funding, and overseeing major infrastructure changes. Through his service as Secretary of the Society of Surgeons, Pakistan, he championed professional collaboration and education across the country. He is more than a surgeon. He is a mentor, builder, and torchbearer of excellence whose legacy continues to shape the future of healthcare in Pakistan. Congratulations, Dr. Azhar. Professor Mushtaq Ahmed, who graduated from Dow Medical College in 1966 and went on to complete FRCS England in 1971, remained as faculty Dow Medical College from 1971 to 1984, and then joined Khan University, where he performed his duties from 1985 to 2022. He is now Emeritus Professor AKU as well as the Indus Hospital and Health Network. In recognition of his dedication and contributions to healthcare and education in Pakistan, we invite Professor Mushtaq Ahmed to come on stage and receive the Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Professor Dr. Mumtaz Meher, who is a trailblazer in Pakistani surgery, renowned for introducing and advancing minimally invasive techniques in Pakistan. A graduate of Liaquat Medical College and fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons, Edinburgh, he performed Pakistan's first laparoscopic cholecystectomy in 1991, revolutionizing surgical practice. As professor of surgery at JPMC, he pioneered the country's first specialized clinics in breast, thyroid, and laparoscopic surgery, shaping generations of surgeons. He also introduced bariatric surgery to Pakistan, including gastric banding and sleeve gastrectomy. Over his illustrious career, he expanded minimally invasive techniques to complex procedures, including hernia repair, colorectal surgery, and advanced pancreaticobiliary interventions. Now Chief of Surgery at South City Hospital, Dr. Meher remains a national and regional leader through roles in Pakistan Society of Gastroenterology and the Endoscopic and Laparoscopic Society of Surgeons of Asia. With a career spanning almost 5 decades, he embodies surgical excellence, innovation, and mentorship, which is why today we would like to honor him with the Lifetime Achievement Award. He's not here with us today, right now, so we would now present the next nominee for the Lifetime Achievement Award, Professor Dr. Anwar Naqvi, a visionary urologist, transplant surgeon, and medical ethicist. Over decades, Dr. Naqvi has redefined surgical care in Pakistan, merging groundbreaking innovation with unwavering ethical integrity. As Provost of the Sindh Institute of Medical Sciences and a senior leader as SIUT, he pioneered Pakistan's first deceased donor kidney transplant in 1998, revolutionizing the nation's transplant landscape. A global advocate for ethical organ donation, Dr. Naqvi has held prestigious roles, including President of the International Society of Organ Donation and Procurement and Secretary General of the Asian Society of Transplantation. His prolific research profile, over 150 publications, has shaped urological practices and transplantation policies worldwide, and he was also a recipient of Sitara Imtiaz in 2001. He exemplifies excellence in patient care, medical education, and humanitarian values. And today, we have the distinct honor of presenting him with the Lifetime Achievement Award. May I please invite Dr. Rehan Mohsin to accept this award on his basis? Last but not the least, it is my honor to introduce Professor Dr. Rizwan Azmi, a distinguished figure in the field of surgery for the Lifetime Achievement Award. Dr. Azmi graduated from Dow Medical College in 1973 and completed FCPS in 1983. He spent over 3 decades at the Aga Khan University Hospital, Karachi, where he was instrumental in establishing the surgical department, setting up operating rooms and training operating room technicians. In 1985, he developed and led the emergency department, creating the first mass accident management plan for the hospital. By 1988, he expanded his role to develop general surgical practice and daycare services, which served as models for other specialties as well. In 2007, he joined the CPSP as elected counselor and national director of residency programs. Please join me in honoring Professor Dr. Rizwan Azmi for his exceptional contributions to surgery and medical education. He's not here with us today due to some health issues. Before we conclude this memorable gathering, it is my honor to take a moment to recognize the individuals whose dedication and hard work has made this event possible. Organizing an event of this scale requires vision, persistence, and countless hours behind the scenes. Please join me in thanking them for their invaluable contribution to the success of this event. First is Professor Dr. Mehmood Khan, who is the President of Society of Surgeons Pakistan, Karachi chapter, and also the Chair Organizing Committee of Surgicon. Congratulations, sir, on organizing this event. Next, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Farhan Zahir, who is co-chair of the Organizing Committee of Surgicon 2025. Let's give a warm round of applause to Dr. Farhan. Now, may I please invite, with a huge round of applause, to Dr. Syed Zareen Raza, co-chair Organizing Committee Surgicon, for her enthusiasm for Surgicon 2025. As Chair Scientific Committee of Surgicon, I would now like to invite Professor Masoom Mirza to the stage. Now I would like to invite Professor Mohammad Zubair, Co-Chair Scientific Committee, Surgicon 2025. Dr. Asif Ali, would you please come to the stage? He's Secretary Surgicon. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause. Dr. Sara Kazmi, please come to the stage. Thank you. This concludes our inaugural session.
Thank you, Dr. Ayesha. Next up is the plenary session for today. This plenary session brings us together to explore key themes that shape our field, featuring insights relevant to all specialities. Guiding us through this session is our esteemed moderator, Dr. Munira Abdul Aziz, a respected faculty member working as Assistant Professor of Surgery at Dow University Hospital. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Munira Aziz.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I myself, Dr. Munira, Assistant Professor General Surgery, is on behalf of the Society of Surgeons, is presenting sincere gratitude to the President Society of Surgeons, to the Vice President, Professor Jamaluddin and Dr. Naveed Ali Khan, to the General Secretary, Professor Farhan Zahir, to give me an opportunity to host this chlorotic podium and interact with the renowned and respected surgical fraternity of the Society. A very warm welcome to our distinguished guests, participants, teachers, delegates, and students on this convention. Starting our plenary convention on a wise note by a wise man. Let no man in the world live in delusion. Without a guru, none can cross over to the other shore. Very true. Now I'm taking the privilege to call upon the stage our nationally and internationally renowned teacher, mentor, advisor, role model, pioneer, and guru, Professor Majeed Chaudhary, who has truly been an icon of our surgical society. Professor Chaudhary has served on many eminent and illustrious posts. Presently, he is holding the position of Dean, Lahore Medical and Dental College, and Chairman, Department of Surgery, Cancer Care Hospital and Research Center. Sir, it would be of great pleasure for all of us if you would come and share some pearls of wisdom on icons of surgery with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to the Professor Chaudhary.
Can I have the first slide, please? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. And I'm grateful to the organizers for inviting me to this prestigious conference. I think Karachi has played a very significant role in development of the surgical field in this country. I would like to recall Dr. Bakai, who has been organizing these conferences in Karachi very regularly and also help people around the country to develop surgical fields. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk on a very different topic. I was just wondering one night and thought of people who had contributed significantly to the development of surgical field in this country. And, there are quite a few living legends sitting here. I just feel humbled and honored. Professor Irshad Waheed and Professor Mushtaq Saab, my senior colleagues over the last 4 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since creation of Pakistan, quite a few professionals did wonders. The working conditions were not ideal, as Professor Tipu Saab just narrated. This presentation is aimed at to show gratefulness to these personalities and bring on record their services. They rendered wonderful contribution with meager resources. And in this short presentation, you might find some missing names, but their services to the profession are acknowledged. You know, at the time of partition, there were only 2 medical colleges in Pakistan and 6 overall in undivided India. Just let me take you down the history lines. You know, the first ever medical college was established in Calcutta, called Kolkata nowadays, on 28th of January 1935. And then a few days later, the one in Madras called Chennai now, in February the 2nd, 1935. And then in Mumbai in 1945. King Edward Medical College was established in 1860, and Balagram Medical College was in 1945, currently known as Fatima Jinnah Medical College. And Dow Medical College was established in 1945, and then Fatima Jinnah Medical College in 1948. This is Kolkata Medical College, which was established. I had the honor of visiting this first ever medical college in the subcontinent. And then Madras Medical College, and of course Grant Medical College in Mumbai in 1845. The King Edward Medical College was established in 1860, and I had the honor of serving in this institution for 27 years, starting as assistant professor. This was Balagram Medical College, which was established by Sir Gangaram after the name of his son in 1945, where 22 students were admitted. And at the time of partition, you know, this college was closed down, and all these students were shifted to various medical colleges in India after partition. Dow Medical College was established in 1945. In fact, if I take you down the history line, there was a medical school in Hyderabad, which was established in 1890. And Sir Dow, the then governor, visited Hyderabad and ordered that this college should be shifted to Karachi, and was named as Dow Medical College. And then Fatima Jinnah Medical College was established in 1948. I had the honor having been principal of this college before retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, in 1890, this Dow Medical College was renamed after the Dow, the then governor of Sindh in 1945. Now, Sir Gangaram Medical College, Balagram was his son, and there is still a pediatric department after his name in Fatima Jinnah Medical College. And all these students from here after partition, they were migrated to various colleges in India. And then in 1948, Fatima Jinnah Medical College was started. It was a great contribution of this gentleman, establishing Sir Gangaram Hospital. As the history goes, that there were a lot of agitations, and his statue was broken, which was outside the Gangaram hospital. And then, all those injured were taken to the hospital, Sir Gangaram Hospital, for treatment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I might have missed quite a few names, but, I think these are the people that I'm going to talk about who served this country in the days of one unit. People served in various provinces. And Professor Feroz Shah and Professor Kabir Khan and Professor Sayyid Ali Raza Gardesi and Professor Habibur Rahman were the people who served in Peshawar, and pioneered, the advanced surgical procedures in province of KPK. Professor Kabir, they have all left this world, but I think their services will always be recognized. Professor Sayyid Ali Raza Gardesi was my mentor as well. He served in Peshawar for many years, and then he was transferred to King Edward Medical College. I served with him as an associate professor for about 7 years. And Professor Habibur Rahman, he was again a very legendary person, served in Peshawar and Lahore. And at the time of partition, he was doing FRCS in England. And would you believe that whole of his family was massacred during the migration in 1947? And when he came back, he was all alone in the family. But he was such a dedicated surgeon and teacher to be remembered for all times to come. One of our friends, Abdullah Jan Jafar, was the only person I could find from Balochistan who served not only in Quetta but also in CPSP Karachi for quite a few years. Now, I think I might have missed few names, but the concept is there that we must recognize the services of these great people in the field of surgery. Professor M.A.H. Siddiqui was father of Professor Siddiqui, and he served in King Edward Medical College as well as Dow Medical College. And Professor Sheikh Abdul Hamid, then Professor Fazle Ilahi. I had the honor of meeting him when he was alive. And Professor Ghulam Askar Raja, I did my house job with him. And Professor Ghani Siddiqui from Hyderabad. And Professor Adib Rizvi, I think he doesn't need any introduction. And Professor Hamid Hassan Mirza. I think some of the youngsters might be hearing this name for the first time ever. And he served in Hyderabad for a very long time. And as people used to say, that nobody would die, a surgical patient wouldn't die without the knowledge of Professor A.H. Mirza. And then he was transferred to King Edward Medical College, where he served till last. And Professor Kishwar Nazli, she was a pioneer lady surgeon. She was originally from Lahore, but settled in Karachi. And her younger sister was my student at King Edward. And I wanted to find out a picture of her. And the lady is living alone in Lahore with the servants only. All her children are settled in the United States of America. So this is the picture of late Sheikh Abdul Hamid Saab. And Professor Raja Saab, you can see in this group photo as well as alone. Professor Ghani Siddiqui was a pioneer surgeon in Hyderabad who served in Liaquat Medical College for a long time till his retirement. And I think we feel really honored that this great gentleman did so much contribution in this country, establishing SIUT. This is Professor Hamid Hassan Mirza, or H.H. Mirza, who served for quite a few years in Hyderabad and then was transferred to Lahore. Fantastic teacher. I've never seen a teacher hitting exactly on the head of the nail while teaching. Yeah. And a fantastic surgeon too. And I'm sure a lot of people sitting here would remember this lady, Kishwar Nasli. Unfortunately, in this country, we have these divided families, and parents are living alone, sending their children to Britain or Europe or to United States. That's the picture that I found out from her sister. And this is where you can see all the professors of the past, Professor Ghulam Asghar Raja and Professor Ghani Siddiqui. Ladies and gentlemen, there were quite a few people who did wonders in King Edward Medical College and then newly built Fatima Jinnah Medical College. Professor Amiruddin was, at the time of partition, a surgeon in Galensi Medical College, Amritsar, where I had the honor to deliver a lecture after his name recently. And of course, great Professor M.A.H. Siddiqui, he served in Mayo Hospital, King Edward Medical College as well. And I had the honor to be professor in the same unit subsequently. And Professor Riazi Kadir was again, at the time of partition, assistant professor in Galensi Medical College, Amritsar, and they were all transferred after partition to Lahore. And Professor Sardar Ali Sheikh was retired as principal of King Edward Medical College. He was such a fine surgeon that people used to come from England and would appreciate and watch him perform biliary surgery. He was an absolute master. Professor Rashid Ahmad Qureshi, I had the honor of working as an assistant professor with him. And he was, again, a biliary surgeon, and he would start his round at 7:59 in the morning and would do always an evening round of and see all the patients in the general ward. And he did it even on the last day of his service. Professor Zafar Haider pioneered big surgical things in Nishtar Medical College, like esophagectomies and head and neck surgery. Professor Ijaz Hassan, I had the honor of working with him as well. He was the president of the CPSP as well and wrote a book of surgery. Professor Fakhruddin Tawfiq, I couldn't find a picture of him. He was the senior surgeon in Fatima Jinnah Medical College. And our senior colleague, Professor Zafrullah Chaudhary, he died recently. And he was the president of CPSP for quite a few years. And Professor Iqbal, he worked in Rawalpindi, Islamabad, and all the current people are his students. That's Professor Amiruddin, ladies and gentlemen. He was such a huge impact in the field of surgery that he would provide food to all his patients and medicines from his own pocket. And when he retired, he sold his house in Gulberg, Lahore, and built a pediatric department in Mayo Hospital. This is Professor Riazi Kadir, and Professor Sardar Ali Sheikh. Even today, people remember the craftsmanship of this gentleman. They were all principals of King Edward Medical College. And Professor Sayyid Ali Raza Gardesi was the vice president of the CPSP as well. Rashid Ahmad Qureshi, he was such a gentle human that honestly, to date, I had the honor of working with him as assistant and associate professor. Professor Zafar Haider, Professor Ijaz Hassan, I'm sure you all know, and Professor Zafarullah Chaudhary, and Professor Iqbal is suffering from advanced cancer and barely alive in Pindi, Islamabad. And then there were a few people who performed wonders in Pakistan Army. Professor Shaukat Hassan, probably after partition, he was the Surgeon General of Pakistan Army. 3 of his children were my students at King Edward. General Mehmood al-Hassan, Wajid Ali Burki, and General Rafvi and General Andrabi. They all, where I think the army stands today vis-a-vis medical field, is indebted to all these gentlemen. Now, that's history. What have we learned from them? Their personal attributes they were very honest, totally devoted to the profession, and they were dedicated. People with honor and dignity, and there was sincerity of purpose. They were simple but immaculately dressed. They were great mentors. They had ownership of the trainees. They groomed the next generations for this country. They had lifelong companionship with their juniors right till the last day of their life. There was no greed whatsoever for money. They never had any sponsored foreign trips. Living very simple, no craze for big things. They were very punctual. As I told you, in Mayo Hospital, Lahore, we used to start our rounds at 6:59 by the watch, every day, without fail. You could correct your watches when these professors, they would walk into the department. They produce results under very primitive facilities and worst of circumstances, as Professor Tipu Sultan Sahab was saying. They trained surgeons of tomorrow. They will never miss outpatients, because the poor people, they will come to the outpatients having listened to your name, and they would be utterly disappointed if you were not there. Very thoughtful, considerate, gentle, and precise. They were all master surgeons of yesteryears. In those days, there were no surgical specialties. And people used to do orthopedics, even neurosurgery, or every surgical procedure that you can think of. Compassionate too. They would spend money on poor patients in the form of drugs and food. You know, Sir was saying we don't even know the names of our trainees. There are so many of them. You know, they would stand on the opposite side to assist their juniors, passing out training skills to their assistant professors and associate professors. They were excellent teachers and trainers without having any formal degrees of medical education. You know, there was no professional expressionism, I call it, which is so rampant, unfortunately, in our society these days. You know, social media is being misused, and some of our surgeons just live in the WhatsApp. I'm sure you will agree with me. They would treat everyone alike, irrespective of their status. And, you know, Professor Amiruddin was the chief of surgery in King Edward. And the sitting president had to be operated. He drove all the way from Lahore to Islamabad, and his tire got punctured, and he got late by 2 hours. And the president remarked that you are known to be very punctual. And he said there was a reason for it. And he refused to do surgery on president that day. He said, you have upset me, and I can do it tomorrow. That's history. You know, there were people with no protocols. Look at what we are doing today. You know, honestly, living in this false world. You know, they were great philanthropists. For the patients, they would give loans to their trainees. A lot of these trainees didn't have fee to pay for examinations. You know, Professor Amiruddin, for 20 good years of his service in King Edward, supplied food over the weekend to all the patients. And as I said earlier, he had a house in a very expensive area of Lahore. He sold it and gave everything to the pediatric department of Mayo Hospital. They were people of honor and dignity and were real role models. Many of sitting in this hall are surgeons and teachers because of inspiration from all these icons of surgery. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indebted to these icons of surgery. We can never pay them back. The nation is grateful to all these people for the contribution to this profession, this country, and above all, altruistic, humanistic attitudes which helped in nation building. The very good foundations were laid by these icons. Now it's up to us to keep the traditions. And are we anywhere near to them? I will leave it to your imagination. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience.
Thank you so much, Professor Chaudhary, with your enlightened words on the icons of surgery. I hope so everybody has enlightened with their history. We were not aware of that, or so many aspects of these wisdom thoughts. So, moving forward, it has been said, a good education can change anyone, but a good teacher can change everything. The phrase holds perfectly to the person whose life has evolved around teaching the undergraduates, postgraduates, fellows, faculty with innovation in teaching and learning with integration of AI to enhance self-reflection and emotional intelligence and a health professional education. Is none other than our respected Dr. Shams Nadeem Alam. Dr. Shams is an MBBS graduate of Dow Medical College, an FRCS qualified surgeon trained in hepatobiliary surgery with additional level transplant training in South Korea and Turkey. Presently, he's serving as the Director of Medical Education and the Professional Development Center at Buckeye Medical University. Sir, you are a true example of a trailblazer who challenged the old norms of conventional medical teaching and introduced new perspectives of contemporary AI-based education in Pakistan. Please share your sententia to the symposium on role of AI or artificial intelligence in surgical training and medical education. Dr. Shams Nadeem Alam. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm not going to use the cliche, but speaking after my mentor is going to be very tough. But I'll try to complete what I need to complete in the time frame that needs to be complete. Okay, can I have the first slide, please? Okay, what I'm going to talk about is something very simple. Now, it's a bandwagon these days. When I say a bandwagon, it simply means, sorry, just give me a second. What it simply means to me is everybody is getting on this AI bandwagon, okay? And should we or should we not, that's a question that I'll leave you with. So, from training to education, I faced my first laparotomy in 1992, Civil Hospital, Karachi. And as a trainee, the senior surgeon, Dr. Hussain Ali Abbas, who's passed away, he asked me, why did you think the patient crashed? Very simple question. I did not have an answer. The answer was because I froze. I had done all the steps, technical steps, but I was under stress. I had no idea how to manage that stress. So I literally froze, and I thought there must be something else which I'm not doing. So I went back and looked at things. I didn't know the word reflection in those days. The reason I put it here is probably that what it was. And then I felt we were trained to do things, and we were told not to think or feel. Now, as a human being, I have this emotional baggage. It's all with me, and I need to understand my emotional dimensions. So there's a reflective gap in surgery. So I looked at myself later on, why did I freeze? And this happened to me repeatedly. I went to UK, I started training there, and I could do upper GI. I could do colonoscopies very well, but I couldn't do upper GI, which was supposed to be very simple. Again, I used to freeze. So one of the nurses said to me, the reason you freeze is you don't understand yourself. I don't know what that meant anyway. Years later, I was supervising a senior resident, so it was a similar case. Asked a similar question. Why did something go wrong? And there was the same silence. Now, the senior resident today is a professor. I won't take the name, but I felt that there was a lack. Reflecting on our practices was a huge lack. I don't know if that existential crisis you've all gone through, but I went through that crisis. Why reflection matters? For a very simple reason. Because education does not equate to skill drills. We were used to skill drills. Do this way, or do it this way. Do it this way, or do it this way. Are we ready to practice those skill drills? Do we have the emotional support? Do we know our emotional intelligences? That's a huge question. So I looked at self-awareness. And if you look at literature, self-awareness is actually the start of wisdom. You became aware of your own strengths, your own challenges, and how a challenge can become an opportunity, or do you want that challenge to remain a threat to you? That's your growth. Reflection enables decision-making under uncertainty. We've spent careers in certain fields, but have we grown professionally? Career progresses. You become an assistant professor, you become a professor. But professional growth not necessarily has to follow that path. You can grow outside that career as well. So that was the missing skill I identified. Empathy, self-awareness, emotional regulation, critical for safe surgeries, communication, and teamwork. I applied for a senior registrar post in UK, and during the interview, I got through. I don't know how. This was a patobulary. And later on, I asked my boss, Declan McGee, who was the chairman of the training board, what were you looking for? And he said, we were looking for somebody who's very safe, who knows his limitation, and who knows how to use the system to grow. Very simple formula. And how teamwork happens. It helps shape the ethical, confident surgeon. Now, we've talked about it. I've been in medical education informally since 1999 because I trained in OSCE in UK. And then I formally switched my profession in 2016. I went to medical education full-time after spending a lifetime, whatever that lifetime was in surgery. And I looked for this word, ethical, confident. How do you make that? And then, 2.5 years ago, AI came in. The bandwagon, the buzz. Now, people take it as a master. And they think AI does everything for you. No, it can't. It should not be. It doesn't replace thinking. Because if you talk about thinking, and if you look at Alan Turing, who we deem the father of computers, 1945, who committed suicide in 1950, by the way, he asked a very simple question. Can machines think? So you got to define thinking. Does our thinking limit us to steps, or does it bring our emotions? That is the question you need to answer. So it does not replace thinking. Now, if you look at the generic tools, ChatGPT, and I've developed this ChatGPT tool, I've customized it, so you can use guided journaling and self-questioning. So what you can do if you've gone through a procedure and you feel that you are under stress, you can ask ChatGPT the prompts and the questions, and it will tell you this were the reason for your stress. This coping strategy is not going to last for long. This coping strategy is non-adaptive. This coping strategy is adaptive, and this will help you. Very simple. Touch surgery. Now, this is an app. Again, looking at technical reflection, if you're doing a surgical procedure, you get haptic feedback in your hand, it will tell you you had too much pressure in your hand. You had very little pressure. The tissue tore because of this. You pulled on it too much. Now, these are not gadgets which are not available. Now, I'm coming specifically to tools which cause self-awareness. Cognito, an emotional aware communication system. Again, you put in your prompts, and the prompts are pre-built. The mentor can put in the prompts. The mentor, who is the surgeon, can put in the prompt if they feel that the trainee is not responding to generic prompts. Reflecti, it's an app. You can download it on your phone, and you can utilize that app to do journaling every day and say, okay, am I progressing? Am I becoming more aware? Kronos, it will tell you mentor matching and reflecting conversation. Now, when I said Majeed Saab is my mentor, I never worked with him. But the purpose of mentoring is the mentee picks the mentor. You see a certain quality in them, and you say, this is what I want to learn from this person. That is mentoring. Now, if you want to formalize mentoring, by all means do it, but it's going to not work. Okay? So you need to have reflective conversation. When Majeed Saab asks me a question, even after a number of years, I go into the why of the question. Why is he asking me this? So that is what Kronos does with you. Reflection builds professional identity. Self-questioning. Am I a surgeon? Do I have imposter syndrome? I ask it all the time. I know. I still think like a surgeon, but I'm not a surgeon. I'm a medical educationist who has transitioned from surgery and now is transforming into medical education. I use these words very carefully. AI can provide the scaffolding. It's not a substitute in this journey. Self-reflection turns into insight. A surgeon's skills may be forged in the theater, but their wisdom is cards in the moment of quiet reflection like calligraphy, shaped not by haste, but by intention. You need to your stress management systems. You need to understand your time management system. You need to know your emotional awareness. You need to know what a Chaudhary window is, how your emotional strengths and weaknesses change. Then, correcting technique. You may be doing something very correctly, but you may not realize it. You may be doing something incorrectly, and you are realizing it. So, you need guided reflection. And the question, which was originally should have been asked, what are you thinking or feeling there when you were doing this? That's what allows you to grow. Use AI tools to scaffold pattern feedbacks, recognition, and insight. There's a global search. By 2030, 187 billion will be circulating in AI in healthcare only. 187 billion. You, at present, are using simulation, diagnostics, robotics. Now, I know there are talks after this as well, but in Pakistan, you're using it for radiology. Very limited. Skills lab, very limited. E-learning trials, very limited. And rarely used for personalized reflection. We are here to produce surgeons. We should understand what a surgeon is. We're not here to produce career-oriented growth people, who just want from one career to another. There are challenges and opportunities. The tech gaps are there. The ethical concerns are there. The digital hesitancy are there. These are there. No questions asked. But opportunity exists in e-learning and simulation lab. When we went into the COVID situation, all of us went into knee-jerk reactions. We started transmitting our lectures on Zoom. Few of us took that chance and we transitioned. Now, at Buckeye University, I'm not marketing anything, but there's a group whom I work with, and we have recently launched a diploma in AI in healthcare, a one-year diploma, and this is for the international audience. So what we're doing is we're using the transition, everything online. So what you got to understand to build who we need. Do we need the surgeon of today, or do we need the surgeon of tomorrow? Is there a difference? So from training to we shift new educational culture. I was talking to Fazanullah, one of my former trainees, and I asked him this question. Because he said, oh, I trained here. I said, did you educate yourself? He said, isn't it the same thing? I said, I don't know. Training and education are synonymous, fine with you. So there's a role of learners, and there's a role of mentors. Mentors need support. Institution needs to provide that support to mentors. If they're not going to do it, everything's going to fall apart. If training is like sharpening a scalpel, then education is learning the why, when, and how to use it. With precision, with purpose, and with presence. And when to put that scalpel down. When I was training, I was told a surgeon needs to learn when not to operate. That's when you become a good surgeon. Just not how to operate, when not to. When to shield yourself emotionally. Okay? The surgeon of tomorrow, you need to not spend billions of rupees on equipment only. Develop the mind, self-awareness. Because reflective surgeons won't be replaced by AI, but those who ignore it might be. It's a huge thing. Insight, not just instrumental skill, will define tomorrow's surgical leaders. This is a quote which I love. This is from Abdul Toffler. Basically, he said, the illiterate of the 21st century are not those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So I made it different. I adapted it. In the age of intelligent tools, it is not the trained who will thrive, but the educated. Those who learn, unlearn, and relearn through reflection. For training perfects repetition, but education transforms behavior. So what I'm looking for is reflective surgical education, AI matched with EI, emotional intelligence, align precision with perception, analyze data with self-awareness, and reflect for resilience. Thank you for the honor and sharing your time with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, to showing us a mirror on a